We just printed out the GeekDrive. Let's try putting it together. First things first, you've done the hard part, and you've taken all the plastic brim off of everything. And now it looks pretty good. Not too shabby, not too shabby. Yes. I printed this on the 0.8 nozzle, so it's not the precisest of things I've ever printed, but not too bad. Also, there's no instructions. So, let's just pretend like we know what we're doing. What we're gonna try doing first here is let's roll this bad boy off of here. Oh, we gotta take this bar off, I guess, and then roll the thing off, and we gotta get to this doohickey and see if we can plug-a-jig all this stuff together. Ooh, that's kind of a mess there. We removed the top, and well, I'll just show you in a better perspective here. Let's take a look. Okay, so we took the top bar off. That's gone. And now we kind of got it sitting on its side facing me. I was going to just take the whole thing, but I can't because this wire is still connected to the old hot end piece. So we're going to slide that right off. Boop. And then, let's see if I've unscrewed the end here off of this side. Haven't done much with this side yet. We're going to dork with that in a little bit. Yeah, we're going to slide that off, and then we're going to see if we can figure out where this stuff goes. Okay, so we took the fan cover right off of there, took 2 screws right there. That's those 2 gray ones there. And then on the right side, we had this fan, and it had 4 screws that we got to take out. And that was sitting on the this side there. And then this fan was sitting on the front, facing forward. And he had 4 screws, but remember, they're on the inside. You gotta kind of whip this thing around, and then you'll see the 4 spots that those go in. Whoa, what a mess. Hope I can remember how to put this back together if I need to go backwards. Alright, let's see if we can figure this out. His final product, we can probably figure out how to get the motor on first. Alright, now, the instructions say to put the PTFE tube about 2 millimeters above the top of the old Bernie Doodle. I don't know what this thing is called. See, so about right there. Let's get our measuring stick. Oh, don't you be going down on me. Yeah, it's about right. Alright, let's try that. Alright, so this part, let's take a look here. These 2 screws are going to go down into those 2 screws, and the instructions say to unscrew this metal part a little bit so it comes above the red part here, because you're going to screw it back down and really clamp down on this thing. I'm not going to do that because I got some weird YouTube thing that I followed earlier that has a separate PTFE tube from about here down with a spacer here getting crunched real good. So I'm probably just going to rely on these 2 screws to keep it here, and I'll clip out just a little bit of this plastic. Stick there off to the sides just a little bit, and screw that down. Didn't go too far, not no spaces or nothing. It's pretty good, pretty good. Okay, let's see what the next piece is. This gear, or to not install it with it in here to begin with, I've popped in the Allen key into the old small black holes here, just enough to bring her back just a little bit. It's nice and loose, and we'll just slide that out of there. Also, these 2 screws went in at some point here. I forgot to mention that. It's just the 2 round ones that came from your gear that used to be up here. The other 2 screws that are left over is kind of a longish one, and one that looks like it's got a flat head on the top. Haven't used those yet. I'm sure that'll happen soon. Well, here's a problem. This thing is, it's not straight. It's kind of bowing down and at an angle. I think it's because my screw is running into that back plastic back there. I can't get back far enough. And when you put this plate on here, that's where the old filament's supposed to go into. That hole doesn't line up. And it's because this thing's leaning forward. So I'm going to have to munch a little bit of plastic in the back there, and then we'll push it all the way back as far as she goes. Much better, much better. Now I can see the hole. Perfect. Alright, now here's where we go a little off kilter because we gotta provide our own screws for a couple of spots. Not too many, but just so you're aware. Right here. So, this is the fan shroud that goes right on top first. You can see this got this little scoopy loopy here to keep it from touching the old copper thing. Yours might be silver, I don't know. And I suspect we're gonna need another. I put an M3 8mm inside of here. Something longer might work, but I don't know. It's pretty close. It's pretty tight in here. So yeah, M3 8, and then I'll show you what we're doing next. Using the larger of your screws from your fans. Looks like, remember, we got the 4 from the little one, and the little one has the hole on the bottom. There it is. That's not the one you want next. You want this one. That's the other one. And put in all 4 of those screws. My holes were just a little too small, so I made them a little bigger using the cutter tool there. Just round and round, just a little. If you go too far, then you can't put the screws back in. Also, don't go hog wild on these screws. You just enough to have some resistance, and then quit. This is PETG, but that doesn't matter. It's gonna be brittle. It could break, could strip out. Now the next thing we're gonna put on is the thing that helps you point the other fan onto the to the nozzle. And I knew he was going to have an update before I even got this done printing. So this is version 2. He's already got version 3. By the time you watch this, it's probably on version 9. I don't know. So I'm going to use it anyway. I don't care. And we're just going to... looks like we got some slider holes here. So you can make sure you line that up nice and good. Just depending on how close you need that to your nozzle bed and all that. So once again, there's going to be some bonus M3 screws, I'm guessing, probably about the same depth, 8mm, I'll confirm that. And then we'll be putting the other fan on. Fan with the hole pointed down, and we put the old fan screws that were really tiny, look like that one, right there, in the bottom 2 holes. Ain't nothing in the top holes, nothing under it. So, it's just a floater. Hopefully that'll do the job. Probably good. And didn't have to splice no wires. This is all stock. All stock wires there. Looks like oh, yep, and I popped this back on. And I tightened the old black thingamajigger there, and this one here, and put the spring in. It was a tight fit. Perfect size, I see. And I suspect the arm's got to go on. And I guess I better put that screw in there first before the spring gets too in the way. And then we're going to be mighty close. We'll probably have to remove these here wheel majiggers and put it, let's see, 1, 2, there better be a hiding one somewhere. Oh, there it is, 3. Woo! That's a tight fit. Hope I wasn't supposed to do that first. That is going to be mighty awful if I have to do this all over again. Part still, like I am. This is where the flathead thing came from, your pulley arm thing. This is the flat-sided screw. Well, here's the problem. There's not enough plastic underneath this part to let it actually grab the part. I had to add 2 M3 washers, and now it's perfect, nice and flush, and it now is grabbing the part real good. Yeah, that could be fixed in a later model where this that plastic that's sunk in that hole is a little higher up. Good, got this in there nice and tight. It's easiest to squeeze the whole mess, kind of like this, while you're trying to sink that screw in. I also tested giving this a little cut right there and sending it all the way through, making sure it made it all the way down to about here, and it did, which is good. That means our measurements are pretty not horrible. So, yep, just the wheels left, I think. Oh, looks like we got some more stuff back here. This is to help your y-axis do something. I don't know. I might just ignore it for now. It's mine's custom blech back here anyways. So, but we gotta attach these things here. That's to hold your belt in place. We'll get to that in just a minute. Looks like got the nut, got the spacer, and the wheel. We got the wheels on there, and remember it goes screw, wheel, spacer, and then nut on all of them. And on this one with the funky screw, remember it's got a washer that it came with. Okay, and that clearance is really tiny. It's easiest to get this thing on an edge like this, so that you can have at it like this, and send the screw right up through without having to battle it not sitting in there all perfect like. Okay, so now we got the wheels, and we got to put these guys on, and we'll do that last, and I'm gonna ignore that. So just these two, and then we're gonna slide it on and see what the heck. Got these here on here. Looks like fat side goes into the center. So the skinny side is on the outside. And after you got that right, you can't really mess it up. Let's slide it on. Once you've slid it onto the rail, you'll have to put this back plate on, and you'll screw it in from this side. And then once that's on, then the whole thing can come back down onto your frame. And now we're going to put the top bar on after we've, we don't want to tighten that. Oh dear. This nozzle's just a little bit higher than the other one used to be, so I'm going to have to re-level a little bit. But not too shabby. Also, this is too short now. At least for me. I'm rocking an ender extender, so my bed is gigantic. This will only take me to about here. And it's gonna need an extension cord, which I've just ordered, but as far as surprises go, that's not terrible. I needed some M3 screws, didn't anticipate that at the very beginning. Came out knowing that I needed those, but that guy's a deal breaker. Gotta have him. On something smaller, you might be able to get away with it coming all the way over to this side, but yeah, not too shabby. The final block, which is your cover, you pop that on just like there. Just like there. Okay, all those screws line up. 1, 2, 1, 2. And I believe this is a zip tie so that your cord can just be inside of the box like this. And then you zip tie the cord into place so it doesn't ever escape. That's it. Now I did notice one thing though here. You see this motor? It is really, really close to this bar. Mine was rubbing on it. Hopefully it's not a big deal. But when I was homing it, it definitely goes right across the back of that thing. So just know, tolerances are tight.